happening, guys? Martin is back again. Let's get into it, guys, for the Zara lovers out there. So, guys, my 3 most complimented Zara fragrances, and this is a countdown from 3 to 1. Okay, so without further ado, coming in at number 3. And again, guys, you got to bear in mind that in the office, you're trying not to necessarily project too much that you get too offensive in your fragrances. I don't wear club fragrances to the office personally. Some of you may think, oh, this list doesn't make sense to me. But you got to bear in mind, guys, depending on where you're working, can have a real impact on obviously how people treat you in that job as well. And if you are projecting offensive fragrances, you could find that you're not necessarily the most favorable person in the office. So you do have to sort of try and tone it down a little bit if you're into multiple fragrances. But for me, guys, these are the fragrances I've worn through the past year. And for some reason, these are the ones that got the most compliments. And that's just my honest points on this, guys. So number 3, coming in at number 3, guys, is Seoul by Zara. And as you can see, guys, this is a slightly newer bottle. For those that are concerned about the batch code, okay, I'll put that up there. I don't know, again, you can't see it, but I will put that. If you do want to know, guys, just ask me the question. I'll put that into the description. Okay, guys, so this one, for those that know, comes similar to, it's a clone of Invictus by Paco Rabanne. This one actually is quite inoffensive, I think. The sprayer, quite aqua, you get that sort of aqua notes in there, guys. I mean, the breakdown from Fragrantica is nutmeg with mandarin orange, with some lavender, with aquatic notes or sea notes, and amber. And it's quite a simple fragrance, guys. This isn't a bad one. The only thing I'd say about this one, just be mindful that the opening is slightly alcoholic, but the dry down is actually quite pleasant. The dry down, you get the lavender, you get the mandarin, and you get that nutmeg. And I think the other fragrances, guys, when you have Soul Winter and Blue Man Spirit, what they've actually done is actually increase the concentration more so of the heavier notes in respect of the nutmeg. Maybe a bit more amber in those other ones. So it seems maybe that the concentration in the other ones are slightly heavier than it is in this one. But for me, guys, this one's a pleasant smell. It's not as strong as Invictus. It's not as cloying or as sweet as Invictus. It's more of a fresher version. It's definitely not Invictus Aqua because there's not really that level of salty sort of note to it I can pick up on. But it's actually a pleasant fragrance. The only problem with this one, guys, is the longevity on this one. It really doesn't last that long. You'll need to reapply it. If you put this on your clothes, maybe by the time you get to the office, depending how far away that is, probably within about 2 hours, you probably need to reapply this one to really have any lasting power. Compared to Soul Winter, which actually does perform quite well, this one is a cheapie, and you know you're probably going to get 2 hours or so. But it's not bad, guys, for what it is. Okay, so that was number 3. I've had compliments, people asking me, well, what's that one? It smells very nice. Does that smell like? It smells like Invictus. What's that one you're wearing? So that's it on that one, guys. Okay, coming in at number 2. And for me, guys, I really enjoy this one. I don't know how you guys are with these fragrances, but for me, I think ultimately what I'm finding is that my fragrances, or more preferred fragrances, seem to have that type of brown juice. And that one, guys, is Zara for Him. Okay, so this one, guys, this is the 125 mil or 150 mil actually. I don't even know if this is sold anymore. And this is the, again, batch code. You can't see it. I'll put those details in there. This one, guys, to me, just give me the note breakdown based on Fragrantica again. Note breakdown is not actually there, which is interesting. But ultimately, guys, I mean, with this one, for me, you get this vanilla type of scent. You do get this type of, let's smell it again. It's like this slightly spicy in the opening. Imagine you have to say you've got like a bar of vanilla and you're just peeling off the vanilla. That's what it smells like to me. Excuse me. Oh, wow, definitely spicy. And again, I'm not editing these videos, guys. So to me, guys, I'm going to try and find a note breakdown for you on this one. But to me, guys, this is my number 2 scent most complimented in the office. Bear that one in mind, okay? So for me, guys, it's one of those scents where I really enjoy this one. I've worn this one on a number of occasions. I like the dry down in this one. Again, the opening is slightly alcoholic. It's not necessarily an expensive fragrance, so don't expect too much from it. But the opening sort of lets it down a little bit because it's slightly screechy with that level of the alcohol that I can smell anyway. But then when it gets into the dry down, it becomes a little bit more a little bit more palatable is probably the best word for it. Breakdown on this one, guys. Saying it's got grapefruit. We've got some pepper in there, which again, that's probably why I'm saying it's spicy, with some lavender and the cedar. Now, the dry down to me, again, guys, they've not mentioned it here, but to me, ultimately, again, there's like a vanilla scent. And the dry down seems to be very appealing to ladies in the office. A few guys even asked me what's that one, and again, obviously when you tell them it's Zara and the price, they're probably going to get that themselves and end up wearing the same thing, and all the guys wearing the same thing in the office. Don't understand why people do that, but that's how it goes. So ultimately, guys, that's my number 2. I've had quite a few compliments on this one, again, over the course of the last year. You can see how much juice I have left in this one, so it is a popular one. And if you want to watch the pennies, this is one to keep on deck. Now, guys. Oh, yeah, sorry. Lasting power on this one, guys. Probably around about, again, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. You have to reapply it. Again, if you're in a hot situation, it's probably not the best one to wear. Office scent is not too bad. It will project, but it's not giving you such a bubble that people are struggling to breathe. It's not that bad. When you consider other fragrances, maybe it's more like Dolce & Gabbana the one. Again, I really like that fragrance. It's slightly more smoother. Dry down's really nice in that one, but again, the level of complexity in Dolce & Gabbana the one is not the same that you're going to get here, guys. So just be aware of that one if you're going to wear this one. Slightly alcoholic, this one. Now, guys, my number 1 fragrance for the office, and I don't particularly like this fragrance that much, but I've had so many compliments on it that I really need to explain it to you and give you the honest opinion. And this is Zara number 8 or 8 Zara. This one, guys, is slightly more watery. Again, it's got fruity notes of melon with some I mean, it says it actually on the bottle actually, but it's saying that we've got some watery notes, we've got some musk in the base, which is quite a prominent note actually, cedar and amber, and again the top notes we've got violet and lily of the valley, and it actually says on there that what this is, guys. Now for me, guys, this fragrance is quite watery, it's quite pleasant, it's quite open, and it's quite fresh. If you imagine like a melon that's just been opened, and you can smell the melon and the juice coming off the melon straight away as soon as you open it. That's what it smells like to me. The only thing I don't like about this one is that the dry down, because of the musk, it's a little bit chlorine for me. I don't mind the fragrance. You can see how much I've got, how much juice I have left in the bottle, but this is a fragrance I've had probably for a few years. So even my batch code on this one is probably an older version of what you may get now. If you want to know the batch code, just let me know. But ultimately, guys, this one has had the most compliments. I've had this from people who aren't even in my department, just walking past saying, wow, what's that smell? I really enjoy that smell. Someone saying, wow, that one smells nice. Where'd you get that one from? People actually standing next to you, guys. This is the reality of just being in the office. But people who have no real business to be standing next to you seem to be standing slightly closer than you would normally expect. And then they actually mention, oh, I like that particular scent. So ultimately, guys, this is the number 1 for the office on my collection. Can't speak for the other over anyone else, but for these are the ones that I've worn. Just bearing in mind again what it is to be in an office environment where you don't want to project too much to the point it becomes offensive. This one, guys, giving me a lot of longevity, at least probably even 4 hours. You may not get to a point where you can even smell it and people are still smelling it. Not every day, but giving that scent trail when you walk past, it's going to be there. Ladies have noticed it and commented on more than one occasion. And again, it's not my most favorite scent, but ultimately in the office, this was the one that was getting me most compliments. And again, I wasn't even looking for compliments. So if you don't wear this one, guys, it's something to get your nose onto. Have a check out of it. I do think there are also now decants, which are relatively cheap. I think they're about £3 or £4 or so for the decants from Zara. So if you don't necessarily want to purchase the full bottle, which I think is only like £10 in the UK, then at least the decant, you could get that. Have a test of it, guys, in the office and see how you get on. But for this one, guys, I'm actually going to give this one at least a 4 out of 5. And the only reason I'm not giving it 5 is just because I don't necessarily like the musk in it. If they took that out and maybe replace that with something else, I'd like it, but the musk just makes it a little bit cloying for me. But the melon, that lily of the valley, the aquatic notes, it is a very fresh, even mouth-watering fragrance that again a lot of the ladies seem to like, guys. So this is one to check out if you're not already. Thank you for the likes, comments, subscriptions. Let's keep it going, guys. Keep building the channel, and I will see you guys soon with some more reviews.